All right, it's time for an eBay unboxing. This is going to be a restoration. Don't know if I can do it, but I only paid $15 for it. Made an offer, 15 doll hairs, and if I can't fix it, I have to find a knife or a scissor. If I can't fix it, I can't fix it. But I figured for $15, it's worth a try. All right, so let's get this open. Ow, I almost stabbed myself. Wait, hold on. All right, you can watch me stab myself live. And I'm trying not to. I just don't want you crack maniacs to see my address. This is a very thin little box. Let's hope it's not broken. All right, so... Oh, all right, so far it looks like the seller really packed it well. All right, I had to pull this out gently, so I'll be right back. And this was a mess. I'm going to tell you right now, this was a mess from what I saw in the pictures. All right, so far, I don't see anything broken on it. But what we have here is an Art Deco. Hold on, I'm just throwing some stuff on the floor. An Art Deco era perfume bottle. And I suspect, I'm not an expert, that it was made by Devilbiss. Devilbiss was actually well known for making beautiful Art Deco perfume bottles. But what's going on here? Okay, I'll tell you what's going on here. The big problem with this is that this is filthy dirty. Don't know if you can see this. I mean, it has like old dried up perfume inside of it. This is rotted gold. They call this generally rotted gold. My camera is just not focusing today. Focus, damn it. There we go. Rotted gold on here, or encrusted gold. Now, okay, so we're missing the bulb and the hose. This is just an absolute mess. A lot of these were actually plated in 22 karat gold. It's missing the hose. It's missing the atomizer bulb. This is a holy mess. I might not be able to even clean this up because it looks like the plating is wearing off on it. So I'm going to go ahead first thing on the agenda is to get this off. And sometimes it comes with a glass straw inside or a metal straw. Oh yes, has the original perfume in it. Don't know if you can see that. All right, so, oh, my hands got like all dirty just by touching this. I just washed my hands. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is clean out the interior of this bottle. I'm going to get a bottle brush, see if I can get one small enough to fit it in here, dry it out on the inside, and then I'm going to see if I can clean this with Simichrome. And if there's a lot of problems, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to regild this. And then I'm going to try to add a hose and a bulb atomizer on here. I'll be back. All right, so I cleaned this with Simichrome. It looks better. I left some of the patina on it. Why can't we focus? Focus, enhance. All right, and okay, I cleaned the inside of the bottle out. I cleaned the outside of the bottle out. And it's still drying on the inside. Let's try to get a focus here. All right, and now I'm going to try to attach a hose. And you can get these. I'll show you what you can do. Actually, let me get it. Yes, I'm wearing Minnie Mouse gloves because I don't want to get any fingerprints on this after cleaning it. All right, so let's just try to focus. There we go. Look how much cleaner that is. It was filthy dirty. Okay, so what you can do is if you need a hose, you better pray to Jesus. Okay, you better pray to Jesus that it'll actually fit. Because 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. You don't get a happy ending. You know what I mean? So, okay, these hoses, these bulbs, okay, you have to part out, basically. Now, some sellers sell them, but they generally sell them for about $15 just for the bulb and the tube, and then another like $10 for shipping. So it'll cost you like 25 doll hairs just to get like a little tube and a bulb. So what I do is I go on Amazon, and for $9.99 with free Prime shipping, I get a whole perfume bottle that comes with one of these suckers. All right, so what I need to do is unscrew this from here and pray to Jesus that it's going to fit into our 1920s bottle. So I'm unscrewing this off of this. This I can just throw in the garbage. I could care less about this. There we go. This is a part you might be able to use. Certain perfume bottles need that, so that's another good part. And what I'm going to try to do is pray and hope and pray to Jesus that if I unscrew this piece, there's going to be a threaded piece. And so sometimes it don't happen. You don't get it, like I said, a happy ending, if you know what I mean. So I'm trying to unscrew this. And if it doesn't unscrew, oh, it is. This thing is really old. It hasn't been screwed for years. And you know what I mean? All right, I'm sorry. Sorry with the crude jokes. All right, I'll be back. The original tube in there was rotted, so I couldn't get it unscrewed. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, this might work. Okay, so what you do is next is you try and pray and hope that this is going to screw onto this. And sometimes it doesn't, all right? So if it doesn't, you can glue it somehow. You can like rig it. I call it jerry rigging. All right, so you can jerry rig it, but nope, it looks like we're good here. Okay, but the only problem is that a lot of these were shorter than the perfume bottle. Okay, so a lot of them would be like this. It would hang like that. You can cut it. Okay, you can cut it and then place it, you know, like back into this little thing. But 9 times out of 10, the thread frays. You can get a Mod Podge and like, you know, paste it down. But you can't, you know, you can't know for sure. You might ruin a $10 hose. And so I'm going to just leave it long. I'm going to just leave it long. And it's not going to be exactly the way it was supposed to be. But you know what? We got a hose and a bulb, and that's all that matters. All right, so we're going to screw this on. I'm going to come back to you. We're going to go over about these perfume bottles, why they're so damn expensive, and why $15 was like a major, major deal. All right, so there we go. All right, we screwed that on tight. Whoa, that was dumb of me. I'll be back. I'm going to take it outside a moment to show it to you. And you can actually re-gild this. You can make that gold darker. If it's worn off, you can fix that. But I like to keep some of the patina on it. There we go. We have our $9.99 replacement bulb. It's all cleaned, and I believe it is Devilbiss. We have this rotted or encrusted gold. This is 22 karat. This is marigold in color. And it's a really beautiful, look at this caged design. We have this like caged design with gold gilding. So let's go over a little history. Devilbiss was founded in 1888 when a Toledo, Ohio physician, Dr. Alan Devilbiss, combined a bulb, tubing, and the base of an oil can to create the first atomizer for healthcare. Yes, healthcare, but it was throat spray. And so that's how it got started. But were there atomizer perfume bottles before that? Yes, and I'll show you. Devilbiss nasal atomizer, circa 1909. Here's an ad. Here's what it looked like. And they actually looked a lot different, but the same as regular perfume atomizers. But this was for the throat and the nose. And I'm trying to think what else. The throat and the nose. This is an example of one of their beautiful atomizers. They came in many different sizes, shapes, and colors. Now, early on, they were using like exclusive bottles made out of Bohemian glass, which we know now is the Czech Republic. And they would cost up to $25 to $40 back in the day, which was a lot of money. And basically, in 1926, the factory sold over 500,000. In addition to atomizers, and other vanity products were also produced as well, such as powder boxes and perfume lamps and all sorts of other cool stuff. Now they do other things. They're still in business, I believe. And so, well, another company bought them out, basically. Now they make spray guns and stuff for mechanical things, not health things. And yeah, they do all sorts of stuff. They make spray guns and air compressors, sprayers, and hose connections and all sorts of things. But they pretty much started to plummet in business during the Great Depression. They really, all of a sudden, it really wasn't doing as well, but they still remained in business, which was amazing. And they remained in business until about 1968. So the perfume atomizers were stopped being produced in 1968. And yeah, pretty much that was it for them. Atomizers, yeah, she's looking like she's spraying it in her eye. We're actually around since as early as the 1860s, which is quite cool. And here's an 1875 catalog picture of an atomizer. And yes, they were monstrosities. And they were, yeah, they were like absolute monstrosities. And Okay, so in France, the first atomizers appeared as early as the 1860s, and they were called pulverizers and vaporizers. Very interesting stuff, right? But they really weren't used by regular people. They were used by barbers and hairdressers. But pretty much the regular public didn't really use them, but yet they did. And but they weren't really manufactured the way Devilbiss ones were. They were sloppy, they were messy, they leaked all over the place, and they were gargantuan, like monstrosities. Now, really fast, I'll show you some that you will find on the market. The most collected ones are from the 20s and 30s. After that, I mean, they're still like collectible, but you won't get the values that you're getting here. Here's an example. This one is the 1930s. Let's continue to go ahead and check out more. And here's one for 188 doll hairs. And it's missing the whole top part, and it's missing the hose and everything. And as you can see, collectors don't care because some of them can fix these things, much like I just did. Here's a beautiful, beautiful, like this is sort of like an amethyst color with rotted gold or encrusted 22 karat gold, and still being sold for this enormous amount of money. There's another one being sold on Cynthia Finley's website of antiques. 895 doll hairs. And we got an Art Deco, probably 20s, Atomizer perfume bottle. Very similar, but not the same as mine. It's a marigold color, and we have the rotted gold. They came in all different designs, and 99% of the time, well, maybe 70% of the time, you will not find them with the original tube or bulb. They disintegrate. They actually disintegrate and fall apart. And the rubber that was built inside the silk covering just completely disintegrates and turns into hard, like stone. And they just fall apart and they break off, and you don't find them a lot of times with these things. Can't believe $895 for a well, it's not really vintage, although it's vintage. I call it antique. For antique Art Deco perfume bottle. Outrageous. I was on the hunt looking for one similar to mine. Now this is what's known as basically a splash bottle. It's not an atomizer. This is a dropper. This little stopper comes out, and I'll show you. A lot of them were made out of glass. You'll know it's an older one if it's made out of glass or metal. If you find them made out of plastic, it is not antique. It is not old at all. And so drop by drop, you can dip this into your bottle and apply it to your pressure points. 130 doll hairs. Somebody, it was probably one of those fraudulent slips. When they were listing this, they called it Devious USA. It's Devilbiss, but they wrote Devious. In their brain, they were probably like, yeah, it's so devious to charge 395 doll hairs for a freaking perfume bottle. And there we go. This one has the original bulb. Really, really cool. And that rotted gold. Not all of them have this 22 karat gold rotted or encrusted application on them. You do not generally see that, and it's generally not common to find it with the original stamp or label that usually fell off, or the original stamp usually gets worn away. It's generally not common that you find it marked. They also had paper labels attached to strings that would dangle from the side of them as well. Those got thrown out, and you generally will not find them. Enough to find online, you can go on ohiomemory.org, and you can see the 1928 catalog of the 1928 atomizers and bottles. You won't see prices, but you'll find all different ones that you can actually find while you're collecting. And you'll see many different colors, shapes, and designs. Let's go ahead. My computer's very slow. And some of them beautiful bubble glass. Some of them opaque glass that you can't see through. Some of them see-through glass. Sorry, I'm filming my computer screen and it's sort of shizzy. And you can get squat bottles. You can get bottles with stems, all sort of heights and widths and designs. And let's keep going. Let's check this stuff out because it's fun, right? And there we go. They came in fancy boxes, gift boxes. Some of them came with multiple items in gift boxes, such as powder boxes, atomizers, and dripper bottles. Let's continue to go ahead and check out some more. What else did they have? And my computer is slow, I will warn you. These ones are highly sought after. These ones over here with these odd-shaped geometric patterns where the bulbs were incorporated. If you find one of those, yeah, it's going to be an easy $800, $900 to $2,000. I'm not kidding you. It's absolutely insane. The collectors are looking for all of those, and they rarely ever come on market. They also made these type, and this would be the box, a gift box that would go over this. And they weren't only those type that I showed you with the atomizer bulbs, all different designs and styles. Again, here's some other types you will find. Some of them are enameled and hand painted. Some have these fancy, look at this, the fancy metal work, different shapes. And it's actually really quite fun to collect these, but it can get quite expensive. So I was quite lucky to get this for $15 and was able to fix it. As you can see, these are not cheap. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this cage work. It's like window pane design. Now they used all different glass from different glass making companies. Steuben or Steuben was one of them. Fry. I'm trying to think of the other glass makers that used to make glass for them. But many different, especially American makers, also Czechoslovakian or Bohemian glass makers used to make glass for them. And they didn't make their own glass. They just made these, you know, the metal parts to it. I can regild this, by the way, no problem. I'll show you what you can use to regild this. You get liquid chrome markers. They come with two size tips, one very small and one big. And you shake them up and it turns into like liquid gold chrome, just like there. And it'll look like metal. Or you can use gold, antique gold rub and buff, which is a wax paint that you rub on. And the more you rub, the shinier it gets. And but I'm not going to do that because you know why? I want to keep the original integrity of this metal because it's patinated, it's patinated. And I really like the, you know, I really like the age of it. It looks fantastic. Yes, I'm working on another restoration right now as we speak. This is a beautiful, beautiful holy water font, French, probably from the 1830s to the 1870s. And I got it from eBay and the seller did not tell me the left side of the leg was broken off. So I built up, this whole thing was busted off. And I made a whole entire, you know, thing to try to match this. And I'm going to gild this and paint this. And then boom, it's going to be restored. So this is the beauty of finding these antiques for actually really cheap and being able to fix them. You can teach yourself. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. Now, I would like to have this shorter, actually, so it, you know, dangles and stops about here. And you can cut this and, you know, play around with it, but it does fray. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I think it looks pretty like this anyway. And so this was a great $15 purchase on eBay. What would I sell it for? Now, you might say, well, it has a replaced bulb. It's not worth that much. The truth about that is, even if you replace the bulb, it still retains its value. Although if it had its original bulb and it was working, sorry for the interruption. Oh God, I'll be back. Every time I make a video, the dog's got to bomb me. I was saying, if you had the original, oh, there they go again. If you had the original bulb, it would add to the value, yes. But if you don't, it's really no problem. All right, it still works. And the color, believe it or not, when I pulled out the old one, it was the same exact color as this, which astounded me. It was like I got the perfect bulb from Amazon, $9.98 for the replacement. If you were to buy the replacement, it would be $15 and $10 for shipping from one of those places that sell the replacements. And they come from China, and it takes 30 days for them to arrive. So I just get them on Amazon, and there you go. So what would I sell this for if I had a Ruby Lane, First Dibs, or Etsy shop right now? I would probably not sell this for less than $150 to $350. I'd have to play around with the numbers. I'd probably start it out at probably about $300. Let it sit, let it marinate. And if like 6 months to 10 months pass and no bites, then I'd probably lower it down to 175. Wait another month or two. I'm not in a hurry. Like, I'm like, some people like to flip stuff quick. Not me. Like, back when I used to sell online, I didn't give a rat's behind if my stuff sat there for a year, because I just wanted the money, the higher amount of money. I'm greedy. And somebody would always come along and pay full price. And yeah. And so this was a great score again for $15 doll hairs, and another $10 for the bulbs. So that was 25. And shipping probably like cost me another $6, but it was well under 50 bucks. Well under 50 bucks. Great score. Thanks for watching. See you guys all soon, and so long.